Welcome to my YouTube channel where I talk about my knitting projects. Today's episode is vlog number 68. My last podcast was about 2 weeks ago. I've already filmed this and deleted it, and now I'm refilming again because I was sitting in the office and I was sitting on my office chair, which was squeaking the whole time. Then my nose started dripping and it was a nightmare. So I'm gonna try this again from a new location. Today's episode, I'm gonna talk about finished object, half finished object, an upcoming project, some yarn I ordered, a tool I recently got, and a couple drawstring bags that I made for my store. I'm going to show those to you as well. So we'll go ahead and get started. I should probably introduce myself in case you're new. My name is Lori. I live in upstate New York with my husband, 2 cats. So if you see them milling around, they're here somewhere. And when I start talking, they start talking. So I apologize if we have visitors. I am a jewelry designer full-time, and I do a lot of knitting in my free time, although I had taken a long hiatus throughout the holiday, and now I'm getting back into my knitting again. So the first thing I want to show you are some socks that I recently finished. I finished these about a week ago. And I haven't worn them yet because I wanted to show them on the podcast first. And I showed them last episode, I believe. But these are my Barocco commercial sock yarn socks. I've knit these before. I talked about them in my last episode. This is really hard wearing sock yarn. It's pretty woolly. They're very warm. They hold up very well in the washer. I dry mine. I probably shouldn't. That does shorten the life of them a little bit. As I was showing them in my last episode, you could tell that they were a little bit felted, but that's okay. So these are done. And when I finished these, I decided to cast on a new pair of socks. So I'm going to steal one of these blockers. And I picked a pattern from 52 Weeks of Socks. Look at me following through on something I said I was going to do. I picked Helen Stewart's Snippet Socks. And I have knit one of Helen's shawl patterns in the past, and I really like her writing style. This particular sock pattern is fairly simple. It is charted. I'm not going to show that to you at the moment, but it's really just a one-page sock pattern, so it went really, really well. I finished one sock this morning. I am knitting them concurrently, so I will show you where I'm at with the second sock as well. But first, here is it, not on the blocker, but you can see the front panel. As you can see, I used a typical or a similar color to her sample. It's just a medium gray toned sock yarn. This yarn that I used is Moon Sisters by Farmer's Daughters Fibers, and it does have a bit of a stellina in it, and it's a bronze colored stellina. It's really beautiful, but it's very, very subtle, and you're not going to be able to pick that up on the video, sadly, but it's beautiful nonetheless. This yarn is kind of rustic. It's not as rustic as that commercial sock yarn from Barocco, but You can tell it's going to be nice and warm. This has a really nice amount of stretch to it, this particular pattern. So I did the 72 stitch sock, which I normally do a 64 stitch. So I was really worried that this was going to be too big, but actually they fit great, really good. So it has a twisted rib cuff and patterning on the front, and then this kind of faux cable that goes down the foot, and then the toe is actually a wedge toe. I thought about switching it out and doing my preferred rounded barn toe, but I decided to go with the pattern, and I did a pretty fair job on the Kitchener, so pretty proud of that. And yeah, so finished that this morning. Now the other sock I started and worked along as I did this one, so I'm quite far. I have to do the foot. So what happened was I got both socks to this point, and then it just was going way too slow for me, so I just put this down and really cranked it out and got that first sock done. So, and it went so much faster when I did it that way. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish this. I should be able to finish this today. I don't know, maybe. We'll see. At least get to the toe. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. I'm knitting these on size US 1 Chow needles, my favorite. I'm going to have a fair amount of yarn left. Probably 2 balls about this size. So here's my other. Well, actually, maybe this one will be a little smaller than this one. Who knows? We'll see. So that'll be a great, contrast color for toes and cuffs and whatever on another pair of socks. You never know. So that's my current work in progress. That's kind of how I've been working on my projects lately, is just one project at a time. I used to knit like it was my job. Like I would have 3, 4, 5 whips going at the same time. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was the pandemic or it became really overwhelming to have all of those working whips. And what was happening was I wasn't really finishing anything. So I find that I finish more things when I just work through each project one at a time. So when I finish those socks, I have plans to do a hat with this beautiful bright, oh my gosh, look how bright it is on the camera. Oh, I love it. So this is from Stash. My aunt gave this to me years ago. I don't know where the label went, but this is Madeline Tosh Merino DK. It's a single ply. And I just see this as a really wonderful hat, and I'm obsessed with this color right now. So the hat that I picked out is called the Beeswax Hat, and I will put a picture of it in here for you to see. And it's by Amy Vandelar. Sorry, Amy. It's a beautiful hat with a kind of honeycomb pattern cable on it. And it looks like it will be an interesting knit. And I'm really excited to cast that on. So that's going to be my next project. It's just a nice little quick hat. Hopefully it will be quick. I don't know. This color is just, I love this bright fuchsia right now. And I ended up ordering three sock sets from Sonder Yarn's recent update this week. And I'm really excited to get it. 2 of the 3 have this fuchsia color. One, it's the mini, and in the other, it's the main skein. And then the third set that I got, the main skein is black. or like a very, very dark gray black. No, I think it might be black. And then the minis are green, like an olive green and a rust color. So I'm so excited about those. Okay, let's see, what else do I have to tell you? I ordered myself a new tool. At one point, I had this metal, like 8x10 piece of metal that had magnets on it that I could use to put my chart on and to keep track of my chart, or just have my pattern attached to. Anyway, I saw it within the last 6 months, but I must have cleaned out a room and I deep sixed it somewhere, and now I can't find it anywhere. So I remembered seeing somewhere online someone talking about the Coco Knits Maker's Board. So I ended up doing some research and found that it was sold out in quite a few places. But I did finally find one. Comes in two different colors. This is the craft brown, and then it also comes in a gray. The gray is the one that I initially wanted, but they were out of stock. So they substituted this color, which is fine because at that point I just couldn't find it anywhere else. So basically this is kind of a cardboard situation. Inside of the pockets are pieces of metal. You can see one poking out here that are magnetic, and it comes with these magnets and those and a couple of these. I was actually very thrilled that they came with the magnets because it wasn't obvious. It showed a picture on the listing on the website with the magnets on it, but I didn't realize that they came with it. I thought maybe it was a buy separately type of thing, because there are tools and accessories that you can get for the Maker's Board. But luckily it came with some. This shipped quite quickly. I ordered it from a website called the Yarn Club Inc. I'm not exactly sure where they're out of. I think Rhode Island. So I'm really happy with this. It makes my life a lot easier, especially when I'm working from a chart. What I ended up having to do with my pattern for the socks, because this book is bound in this way, it's very hard to work from this book because the pages don't really lay open very well. So I ended up making a photocopy of the chart on my printer, and then I was able to just use this to keep track of it on here. And yeah, it's really handy, very handy. Expensive Coco Knits, I'm sorry. It's cardboard, and I'm hoping it lasts a long time. I don't know how it will last, you know. It's stitched. I just wonder if it will get worn out over time and get floppy. I don't know. We'll see. But it was like, with shipping and everything, it was almost $50. Yeah. Don't get me started about the whole shipping costs these days. Oh my gosh, it's insane. I'm really thinking about, for my business, not shipping overseas anymore, just because I'm getting hosed with the fees. I just can't keep up, and I never seem to get it set up the right way so that I'm getting the right amount of money for the shipping rates. I don't know why I can't figure it out. I use Shopify as my website. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I talked about my tool. The only other thing I want to show you are some project bags that I made recently. These are just so cute, and I just wanted to show them off. They're both in my store. If you're in the market for a drawstring project bag, I have these two available. I used a really sweet pattern from Minky Kim's book called Zaka from the Heart. And it's for a little drawstring bag that's lined, but it doesn't have any interfacing. So it's great for a sock project or a small shawl project. It has a drawstring and a bead. little pocket on the front. It's so cute. I don't know. You could put some stitch markers in there or whatever. It doesn't have any pockets on the interior, but. And this one. Yeah. I love that little pattern. It's so great to like use up some of my fabric stash, which I just have way too much fabric. This week I did not do a lot of sewing though. I did more jewelry this past week, and I was feeling pretty good about the stuff I had made this week. Yeah, I feel like it's been a good week. I hope you guys are all having a good week, and I will see you in my next video, which should be in about 2 weeks. So I'll see you on the flip side. Bye.